ladies and gentlemen, this is the Beard with Bearded Bird Productions, and this is my first thoughts and reviews for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 5. You guys know the drill, there are spoilers in this review. Please watch the episode. Holy setup for the final episode, Batman. I loved this episode. Now, it was much slower than the previous 4, but it provided some much needed catharsis and character development to have a complete finale next week. With the action on a minimum, given our heroes were sidelined, we were really able to tie up a lot of loose ends. Now, we didn't get too much from Zemo or Carly episode, which was fine. Zemo was taken off to the raft by the Dora Milaje, and I am sticking with my guns that he will form the Masters of Evil there. It's happening, deal with it. And Carly has really slid herself into the position as villain in this episode, beginning the movement that will probably be the focal point for the final episode next week. If this show is lining up the way that they seem to have been, Sam Wilson's Captain America will be able to talk her down or put her away without killing her. Interesting twist would actually be her showing up on the raft with Zemo. Maybe they can be roommates. For those of you who do not remember, the raft is a supervillain prison introduced in Civil War that somehow survived the blip and exists in the middle of the ocean. One villain we did get some screen time with is our good old buddy John Walker, starting the episode off with one hell of a brutal fight scene. Now, John Walker, to no surprise of anyone watching the show, was stripped of his title and from the mid-credits scene is completing his transformation into U.S. agent. Yes, there is a mid-credits scene. Watch it! He has convinced himself, as he's done earlier in other episodes, that he is and will keep doing the right thing. This is in part due to the military training as mentioned in his hearing. He was made by the government. He has done things the way they would want him to do. Now, the only problem is that he was the face of the US, and as such, he needed to act more politically savvy than just a soldier. Steve understood this battle from the beginning. He was never the perfect soldier. He disobeyed orders, he followed his own moral compass that saved him in the long run, and this is what made him the best Captain America. Now, he wasn't always the hero the government wanted, but he was the hero that they needed. I'm really interested to see this story grow, and honestly how the Marvel world could expand. I do not know how they are keeping up, as I feel like every show is now a backdoor pilot or origin story to at least another 3 Marvel characters. WandaVision introduced Wiccan, Speed, and Agatha, all who will return at some point, and in this show we have Patriot, Torres as the new Falcon, and US Agent. Not to mention whatever the Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine has planned. My initial thoughts are that she might be forming the MCU's version of the Dark Avengers, a team of supervillains acting as heroes. This usually originates around Norman Osborn, but could also be a fun play on the dark side of Nick Fury's recruitment of the Avengers, especially since she was actually rumored to already debut in Black Widow, perhaps recruiting Yelena, who is the Black Widow in the Dark Avengers. In all seriousness, Wyatt Russell's portrayal of John Walker is beautiful and deserves our utmost respect. There are villains that are bad guys, and there are characters that show up on the screen that you just love to hate. So shout out to Wyatt for creating such a memorable character on the screen. Now, Sam was the focal point of this episode. The majority of the episode followed him around, figuring out what his next move is going to be, and it's really something that needed to happen to have a solid finale. He couldn't still be fighting his decisions if he were to be able to make a true difference in the final fight with the Flag Smashers. Bucky still had some good time to shine, but it was left evident that he was supporting Sam this time around. Sam was sidelined after the fight with the soon-to-be US agent and got to do some soul-searching. After the painful action of his wings being ripped off, he left the suit behind to Torres, setting him up to be the next Falcon and symbolizing leaving that persona behind. He visited Bradley, who took Sam down a beautifully heavy memory lane, showcasing how times are not all that different, racism is still alive in the world, and the government is still not going to want a black Captain America. Now, I loved Sam's reaction to this because it's very similar to Steve's belief of looking out for and sticking up for those who need it. They may not be ready for a Black Captain America, and it may be an uphill battle, but it's a fight worth fighting, and it needs to be done right. When Sam was at home, surrounded by his family, he was reminded of the importance of what is worth fighting for. All of this was an extremely beautiful episode with beautiful dialogue, not a lot of action and not a lot to unpack as we prepare for the final episode. Not a lot of unknowns, just a solid calm before the storm. Oh, and we still have no idea who the power broker is. A larger curveball, however, is that Sharon Carter is now seemingly assisting the Flag Smashers, making it difficult to think that she is playing ball with the power broker, as I know that I had mentioned before, because we have realized that we have already recognized that the power broker is going after Carly and the gang. So there's that. Now let me know in the comments below what you guys did like, what you didn't like, what you guys think is going to happen in the power broker storyline. Do you think they're going to be able to sum it all up within one episode? Is it the Countessa? Is Sharon Carter actually the power broker playing a little mind game? No, I don't think so. Scratch that one. That can't be it. Anyway, comment below. Please keep an eye out for more videos, and we'll see you guys next time.